Welcome back to another video where I am still on my road trip from Texas, technically to Florida, stopping in South Carolina and Louisiana along the way. But in this episode on my road trip, I'm going to be talking about how I've earned over 1.23 million credit card points in just 2 years of my credit card game, and it's going to be fully transparent in this one. I know a lot of y'all may see that title and either not believe me or just think like, how in the world can you possibly do that at your age, considering I just started the credit card game a couple of years ago? And the first assumptions would be, okay, he spends a ton of money somehow. I don't know how he does it, but he does. The second assumption may be that I have like 30 plus credit cards to hit a ton of welcome bonuses to earn that many points. The third assumption might be that I've included something like Hilton points in this that are only worth about half as much as a normal credit card point. And all three of those assumptions right there are not true. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how I earned all of these credit card points, and the ways that I did that are going to be through welcome bonuses, referral bonuses, and spending. Off the bat as well, I want to make the disclaimer that obviously I am a credit card YouTuber, so the referral part of this game is going to be a big part of how I've accumulated this many points. I want to be completely open and honest with this video because I don't think I've really seen many other people talk about the amount of referrals they get being a credit card YouTuber. So I hope that y'all can appreciate that and also just enjoy this video through and through. This video is going to have a ton of numbers thrown at you really quickly, and I know it can get kind of confusing, and also I likely made some mistakes in here. It's just, par for the course with this many numbers being thrown around. So if I do, feel free to correct me in the comments, but also just realize that I'm going to try to break this down in a succinct way by first breaking down my point earnings by lender, and then I'm also going to break it down by card with each lender, so hopefully you can get the whole well-rounded picture here. I'll be talking about 8 of my credit cards in this video that have helped me accumulate these 1.23 million points, that being my Citi Custom Cash, Capital One Venture X, OG Chase Freedom, which was my Chase Freedom Student, Chase Freedom Unlimited, Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Ink Cash, Amex Gold, and Amex Blue Business Plus cards. So let's dive into the first lender here who I've accumulated the least amount of points with, that being Citi. At this point, I only have one Citi credit card, and that credit card is going to be the Citi Custom Cash. I opened my Citi Custom Cash back in April of 2022, so about a year and a half ago, and the welcome offer that I got on that card at that time was for 20,000 Citi ThankYou points. As for referrals on this card, I actually got no referrals at all because Citi does not have a referral program that you can actually use to refer your friends to. So really the only other way I've accumulated points on this card is going to be through my spending. I use the Citi Custom Cash as my dedicated gas credit card, so basically all of these points came from gas purchases, and in the amount of time that I've held this card, I've accumulated 11,188 points from basically my gas purchases. So the total points I've accumulated on my Citi Custom Cash is 31,188 points, bringing my total points accumulated with Citi so far to 31,188 points. The next lender we'll talk about is another lender I only have one credit card from, that being Capital One. The only card I do have from Capital One is my Capital One Venture X, which maybe a lot of y'all found my channel by the Watch Me Apply video I posted about that card, but I opened the Capital One Venture X back in April of 2023. So this one I've actually had open for less than a year, and it's been about 5 or 6 months since I got this card. As for the welcome offer on this card, I got the welcome offer of 75,000 points. And then as for referrals, I was really lucky to be able to max out my referrals, I think before I even hit the welcome bonus on this card because that video did so well. So I hit 4 25,000 point referrals, giving me 100,000 Capital One miles just for referring people to this card. Now that's a really, really high number, and I'm extremely blessed to be able to say that. So thank y'all so much for using my links. And just remember that through the rest of this video because y'all have played a big part in allowing me to travel more for free. And of course, a lot of this travel actually has been for the channel. So I am using those points basically just reinvested into the business. I have not cashed out any of these points just for my gain. I've used a lot of them for my MacBook Pro that I now do all of my work on, but most of the other ones have been for trips that I have documented on the channel. Okay, so enough talking about referrals for now. That brings us to the amount of points I've earned from spending on my Capital One Venture X, and that is a grand total of 14,680 points. With the welcome offer, the referral bonuses, and the amount of spending that I've put through this card, I've earned a total of 189,680 Capital One miles on my Venture X. And again, since the Venture X is my only Capital One card, my total Capital One miles earned so far is that same 189,680 points. Okay, now that we're a couple of cards in, I want to take the time to tell you about a way that you can double your credit card rewards when shopping online. And the way that you're going to be able to do that is through a free app called Kudos. The way that this works is that, say your credit card is going to give you 3% back on a Booking.com purchase or Sephora purchase or what have you. Through Kudos's Boost feature, you'll now not just get 3% back, but you'll actually get 6% back. I mean, honestly, that's just free money for downloading a free app or browser extension, so it's kind of a no-brainer. Honestly though, the biggest way that I personally have used Kudos' free features so far is that anytime I'm shopping online, I can activate Kudos to not only just automatically fill in my card information depending on what card I want to use, but they also tell me which card I should be using when shopping online to get the most rewards back as well as the best protections and stuff like that. Honestly, just the fact that I can store all of my card information in with Kudos was reason enough for me to download this, and I'd really highly suggest that you do the same if you want to save yourself some time. All you have to do is just add Kudos to your iPhone or desktop in just 2 clicks and then just shop like normal. Then you just get to sit back and relax because Kudos saves the average user over $750 per year. Stop leaving money on the table. Use code Spencer to get Kudos for free at the link in my description or by going to joinkudos.com/Spencer. Once again, that's joinkudos.com/Spencer so they know I sent you. Thank you to Kudos for sponsoring this video and for helping us earn double rewards on our online purchases. But now let's get into the most amount of points I've accumulated over the course of these past 2 years with Chase and Amex. Let's go ahead and jump into my favorite lender, Chase. The first card with Chase that I've accumulated any points on in the past 2 years is going to be my OG Chase Freedom card, which was product changed from my Chase Freedom Student card. I opened the Chase Freedom Student back in December of 2020, but in this case, we're only going to be talking about that OG Chase Freedom that I've used, I guess, since the start of 2022 for the purposes of this video. The first thing that happened in 2022 was that I did get a good standing bonus of 2,000 points. That's not a welcome bonus, but just a good standing bonus that they added to my account, presumably when it was a Chase Freedom Student still. But for completeness sake, I wanted to include that in the video. As for referrals, I never referred anybody to this card, so that is going to be just 0 points. And then as for my spending on this card, you'll see pretty quickly that I just decided to transition all of my spend to my new cards, and this one kind of got left in the dust. But for 2022, I accumulated a grand total of 245 points. In 2023 though, I did accumulate a little bit more at 1,774 points. So the total points I've earned on my OG Chase Freedom since the start of 2022 is 4,019 points. Moving on to card number 2 with Chase, that of course is going to be my Chase Freedom Unlimited that I opened back in August of 2021. As for the welcome bonus on that card, it was 20,000 points, and I actually got an additional 5% back on gas for the first year of having this card, so I guess that does come into play for the spending points that I earned. As for referral bonuses on this card, I was again very lucky to have maxed out my referrals for both 2022 and 2023, granting me 50,000 points each year or 100,000 points total. As for spending, I did more spending on this card in 2022, gaining 7,391 points, that being because it was my catch-all card back then. But in 2023, I've used this card a lot less because I've been using the Capital One Venture X as my catch-all card instead, but I've still earned 1,407 points from spending on this card in 2023. That brings my grand total on this card to 128,798 points in the last 2 years. The third Chase card that has helped me accumulate a lot of points is going to be the card that y'all know very well from my channel, the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I opened this card back in January of 2022, so it actually gives us a perfect timeline from the start of 2022 till now to see how many points I've accumulated. So the main ways that I accumulated any points on this card at all is just from welcome bonuses and referral bonuses. I've said it multiple times, but I really don't actually put that much spend on this card in particular, since I have so many other cards now that cover my earning categories that this card has a little bit better. But I still will always keep this card open unless I get like the Chase Inc. Preferred, but I need to be able to transfer my points out to Chase's travel partners, and this card allows me to do that. As for the welcome bonus on this card, I was given 60,000 points. For the referrals, in 2022, I actually didn't see any referrals on this card, even though I thought I had gotten some. So this number might be a little bit off, but I apparently just had no referrals in 2022, and in 2023, I maxed those out at 75,000 points. Since I opened this card in 2022, I did put a decent amount of spending through it since it was, one of my dedicated workhorse cards before I got cards like the Amex Gold and Citi Custom Cash and all that. So for spending in 2022, I accumulated 8,205 points on this card, but in 2023, I've only gained 718 points from spending on this card. This is another card that gives like a little weird bonus at the end of the year, and it basically gives you 10% back of the points that you earned in the previous year or something like that. So from that, I got like a total of 658 points or something like that. But that brings the total amount of points earned on my Chase Sapphire Preferred for the past 2 years to 144,581 points. We're getting through all the Chase cards here, don't worry, but my fourth Chase card that actually has accumulated me the most amount of points is my Chase Inc. Cash. I technically opened this card on like December 31st of 2022 or something like that, but basically at the very beginning of 2023. As for the welcome bonus on this card, which is currently the welcome offer that I have linked down below for this card as well, there was a limited time 90,000 point welcome offer, which is amazing for a no annual fee card, and I would highly recommend you jump on it. But that is the welcome offer that I personally got on this card, which is a big way that I've accumulated so many points on it. Now, the really insane thing about this card is that it does give you an annual cap of referral bonuses of 200,000 chase points. Again, that's a no annual fee credit card, and I think each referral gives you like 40,000 chase points, which is insane. And I'm lucky that this card is very powerful and one that I would recommend no matter if it gave me referral bonuses or not. But because I do like this card and y'all obviously really like it as well, I've garnered 180,000 points from referrals this year. So it's not quite maxed out, but it basically is. So once again, thank y'all so much for using my links. It really does, like I said, support me. And more importantly, it supports the business because a lot of those chase points just go into more trips that I book for the channel. And I guess in reality, those points actually went towards this MacBook Pro that I use to produce all of my content now. So in that way, the channel wouldn't be running without those points, or at least wouldn't be running quite as smoothly. And as for spending on this card, I did have to spend enough to hit that welcome bonus and stuff like that. So I accumulated a total of 10,512 points. That brings my grand total of points on this no annual fee Chase Ink Cash card to 280,512 points. That's mind-boggling to me, but that is just how the numbers worked out, and I'm just super thankful for that. Now that we've talked about all of my Chase cards, we can add up those totals for each of those cards, which brings the total amount of points earned across all of my Chase cards since the beginning of 2022 to 557,910 points. Now, just for reference, I think I've redeemed over like 450,000 of these points already in this year. So the actual point balance in my account is not sitting at that 560,000 or whatever, but it is pretty cool to go back and see these numbers all added up. Now we get to move into a lot of y'all's favorite credit card lender, that of course being Amex. My first Amex card is basically my daily spender card because it earns me 4x back on dining and 4x back on grocery store purchases. And that card is going to be my Amex Gold card that I opened in June of 2022. I was also really lucky at the time that I applied for this card to use somebody's referral link in incognito mode to give me 90,000 Amex points, plus I think like $250 back in statement credits or something like that. Y'all know the offer I'm talking about, but yes, I was fortunate enough to pick that one up. And then since this card is so popular, and again, my Watch Me Apply video for that card did pretty well, I was able to max out my referrals for 2022 and 2023 so far, giving me 55,000 points in 2022 and 100,000 points in 2023 for referrals on this card. And that of course is a total of 155,000 referral points in the past 2 years. As for the total amount of points I've earned from spending on this card, in 2022, I gained 12,573 points, and in 2023, I gained 14,424 points. Now that may not sound like a lot of points for all the spend that I've, kind of claimed that I put on this card, but you also have to remember that I basically applied for a card like every 3 months since I started my credit card journey. So most of my spend goes into welcome bonuses. It doesn't go into the actual daily spending categories. But if I'm not spending towards a welcome bonus, this card is getting used and abused. With all those numbers added together, the Amex Gold card since January of 2022 has earned me 271,997 points. So that's just barely under my Chase Ink Cash in getting me the most amount of points out of all of my credit cards so far. But this card really is a workhorse, and without the referral bonuses, this card would have actually given me the most amount of points in the last 2 years. And that's just a testament to how much use I personally get from it, as well as, the rest of the community obviously gets a lot of value from this card too. For my final Amex credit card, this is another one where my Watch Me Apply did very, very well, and y'all might have found me from that video. But this credit card is the Amex Blue Business Plus that I opened back in October of 2022. The welcome bonus on this card was actually pretty terrible, and I only earned 15,000 points from that welcome offer. Granted, I think right now they don't even have a welcome offer on this card, which is really annoying. So I guess I got lucky getting 15,000 points on it. As for referrals, the same story repeats from the Amex Gold card, and in 2022, I maxed out at 55,000 Amex points on this card. And in 2023, I maxed out at 100,000 referral points on this card. Spending wise, this card gives you 2x back on all of your purchases, so you can kind of figure out how much I've spent on this card because of that. And in 2022, I gained 6,510 points from spending, but in 2023, I gained 5,062 points. Once again, if you were to track back all of these cards from the very beginning, you'll be able to see that I don't earn a ton of points from my spending, and that is because I'm always spending towards another welcome bonus. But if we're to add up all of the points I've earned on the Blue Business Plus since I got it, that would be a total of 181,572 points. Now with my Amex Gold and my Amex Blue Business Plus, we can add up my total American Express points. So from welcome offers, referrals, referral bonuses and spending, I gained 453,569 Amex points. Okay, hopefully y'all aren't tired of numbers yet, because we still need to combine all of these points broken down by those 3 different categories so we can see, the percentages of the points that I've earned and how I've earned them. So the combined totals for all the different credit cards I just mentioned, not divided by lenders or anything like that, breaks down in the following ways. As for welcome bonuses, since the beginning of 2022, I've gained 370,000 points from welcome bonuses alone. From referrals, I've gained a whopping 765,000 credit card points. From spending, I gained 94,689 points. And then from other bonuses, I've gained 2,658 points. That brings my grand total for these 8 credit cards to 1,232,347 points. Okay, with all that being said, I just have to mention that I'm in an extremely fortunate position to be able to earn as many points as I've had because of this YouTube channel. Of course, without this YouTube channel, I could still get some referral bonuses here and there for my buddies that I've helped get credit cards, but I would not max out all of my credit cards every single year, and that is just all thanks to you guys. If you were to take away those referral bonuses though, I hope that through these welcome offers and the spending that you've been able to see me get points from as well, you can see that it's very possible to accumulate a lot of credit card points, but the main way that you're going to be able to do that is through welcome bonuses. That's why I'm such a big fan of applying for basically as many credit cards as you can manage, of course with the caveat of you needing to be responsible with your credit cards. But in reality, you're not going to ever accumulate the most amount of points from just spending alone unless you just have just a ton of spend. But if you're able to maximize your spending by putting them towards welcome bonuses, that is how you really win the credit card game. And then of course you can join places like my Discord with Mark Plymale and Daniel Braun, where you could actually pay to put your referral links in that channel and hopefully max out some of your links. Or you can just refer your buddies as well to give you some more points. But the fact of the matter is, welcome bonuses are going to be the key to you earning a lot of points in this game. I guess I technically did leave out a couple more ways that I've earned points in the credit card game so far, that being through a retention offer I got on my Amex Gold card, as well as through Rakuten, who deposits Amex points into my account when y'all sign up using my link like the one down below. As y'all know from this channel, I really just tried to be as transparent as possible, and I don't want y'all to be kept in the dark on this stuff. I also wanted to tell you about this to just put things in perspective for you and make you realize that not all of the redemptions I do are ones that you should be doing too. I have the ability to earn a lot more credit card points than the average person at my age, so that's why I do massive redemptions like the one for this MacBook Pro, or some for lower redemption rates on just domestic travel. It all just goes back to the fact that I am very blessed and fortunate to be in this position to earn points quickly if I need to. If y'all are interested too, I'd like to make a follow-up video to this one about how I've redeemed almost over half of these points, I guess, at this point. And honestly, all of those redemptions happened in 2023, so if you'd be interested to see a video on that, let me know down below. Of course, if any of these credit cards are ones that you want to add to your setup, it really does mean a ton. As you can see, if you would use my links, that'll be down in the description. And if you want to hear more about my entire credit card journey, like why I added each of these cards I have when I did, then be sure to go ahead and watch this video next, because I think you'll really enjoy that. Since I'm right now in Pensacola, Florida, and do not have Odin with me, he unfortunately can't be here for the end of this video. But of course, we both want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.